When most people hear dissociative identity disorder, they think of movies, stereotypes, or dramatic personality switches, but that's not what most of it actually looks like. A lot of what lives inside a DID system is quieter, more complicated, and almost never talked about. Hi, kitty kitty. Hello, my name is Jade, and I wanted to do another video about what I've found so far. So, I want to talk about things that normally aren't talked about when DID comes up. So, DID is mostly about dissociation, not switching. A lot of people think the disorder is defined by obvious identity changes, but in reality, the core issue is chronic dissociation. Feelings of being detached from your thoughts, your body, or even your emotions. There's that spacing out situation or losing continuity in awareness, really. And then there's emotional disconnection, even when functionally normal or normally functioning. Switches can happen, but for most people, it's subtle or not extremely visible. There is an internal experience which is often fragmented and not organized at all. So the media tends to imply clear characteristics inside a system. More commonly, there's internal experiences that can be very confusing, partial, or even overlapping. Thoughts may feel not fully yours rather than belonging in a distinct identity. So, like, communication inside can be consistent or inconsistent or even absent. And that's what I have to deal with, which is really hard. It's like working with someone who's not there when you're there. Some parts may hold emotions, sensations, or even fragments of memory, and sometimes not even full identities. Memory issues are often subtle and chronic, not dramatic amnesia or convenient amnesia, as I call it. Instead of the movie style blackouts, that there's forgetting parts of conversations or tasks. Like if someone's talking to you, like face to face, and then in the middle of the conversation, you're just like, "Oh my God, they were talking. What are we talking about?" And then you feel really awkward, and you can't say, "Hey, you just made a really long point. Can you kind of repeat everything you said because I wasn't listening?" But it's not exactly voluntary spacing out type deal. And then that also goes for certain tasks, like physical tasks. There's finding evidence of actions without recollection. Like if you text someone and you go back later and you don't remember even typing it out or pressing send, which can be really troublesome at times. There's remembering events but feeling emotionally disconnected from them, as if a blurry or dreamlike recall of personal history I often forget my age. I often forget my birthday. I often forget, like, if I'll look in the mirror sometimes I don't recognize myself whatsoever. It doesn't feel like it's me looking back at me, you know? It's kind of hard to explain. It can look like everyday forgetfulness, but a lot more frequent and identity linked is what I meant to say. There's functioning. So, okay. Functioning can mask the disorder extremely well. So, many people with DID hold jobs, they're able to study or parent successfully. They like by doing that, they develop strong masking and coping systems or strategies. They can appear fine externally while struggling very much so on the inside, which is one of the big reasons why diagnosis is often delayed or missed entirely. Or you'll get inaccurate diagnoses like schizophrenia or bipolar or whatever that you get misdiagnosed with, which can be very harmful because they'll put you on the wrong meds that you don't need to be on. I've been on so many antipsychotics. I'm on a few right now, and they are no joke. I wish I didn't have to, honestly, but they help with the individual symptoms. It doesn't help to take away the disorder, but it helps me to not freak out as much. Like if I'm in a manic episode, yes, I still have freak out moments, but through therapy and the correct, very accurate medication, have I gotten a little bit better with depression, anxiety, SH. So, yeah. There's emotional states can shift without clear explanation. So, like, instead of obvious personality switches, you might see sudden changes in mood, tone, or just levels of confidence, shifts in preferences or reactions. There's feeling off or unfamiliar with your own behavior after the fact. So it's like it's often experienced as confusion after the fact if you're, and then like not awareness during the freak out moment. But yeah, the internal conflict is often about survival, not identity drama. So like different parts often exist because they carry different survival roles. Some hold fear or trauma responses. Some manage daily life and appearance. And then some avoid memories entirely. Internal disagreement isn't theatrical, it's usually protective and automatic. It's like a knee jerk reaction. Like, the rule is, for us anyway, be careful, like, protect the body, protect the others, remain hidden, and just help us survive, basically. Like, keep those away that want to self injure or worse, you know. So co-consciousness, which I don't really like the term for, but whatever, that's what it's called apparently. Co-consciousness varies a lot. So some people assume systems are either aware or not aware. But in reality, awareness can be partial or layered. One part may observe while another acts. Memories may be shared unevenly, and then some parts may only realize what happened after the fact. Or maybe some go dormant or whatever it's called. Triggers aren't always obvious or external. People often expect obvious triggers like loud sounds, like explicit reminders of trauma. But triggers can't, hi kitty. Triggers can be a tone of voice, body posture or sensations. There's the emotional states like shame or helplessness. There's seemingly random sensory cues, like if you smell rubbing alcohol and you were harmed or whatever, and you smell that again, it can cause a trigger. Or a certain song that was playing during a traumatic event, which I have that as well, which is extremely hard to deal with when someone sends it to you, not realizing it's a major trigger, and then you have to explain, "Hey, thanks for ruining my day." But it's not their fault. If they don't know that it's a trigger, don't blame them, honestly. Like, if they did do it on purpose for control, power, whatever, get rid of them. Get them out of your life. Cut ties, because they are not worth the torment of going through flashbacks. Honestly, they're just not worth it. And if they don't respect your boundaries like that, they're not worth your time. Daily life can feel like continuity work. Like a big hidden reality is constant effort to maintain consistency. So there's checking notes, messages, calendars. There's trying to track decisions and conversations. There's, well, for example, I have a watch that I got for like $6 at Walmart. I use it to keep track of how long I've been gone or whatever. Like, every time someone comes out, we are reminded by a note on our hand, look at the clock, record who you are, and the time that you come out. Because that'll just, it's like a check-in log or whatever. Like, we don't always do it, which is frustrating, because not everyone wants to be known. But it's whatever. There's rebuilding context after dissociation, which is really frustrating as well. There's managing confusion without external visibility. It's less dramatic, but it's a lot more exhausting. And there's another thing I wanted to touch on, is that recovery isn't about getting rid of parts, because each alter is a part of the core. So a clinically accurate framing is that treatment focuses on stability, communication, and integration of experience, not erasing parts of yourself that you deem unworthy of being a part of yourself. Like, that's just not how it works. It's about building cooperation and reducing dissociation over time because progress is often extremely slow, non-linear, and very skill-based, I guess, where it's like you have to build up the skill over a long period of time, probably most of your life, to heal bit by bit. And that's the hardest part of dealing with this disorder. Media representation causes real harm. Like, it causes confusion between DID and, say, schizophrenia, which are not the same whatsoever. There are stereotypes of violence, like in Split, when he turned into the Beast and he started killing people. Like, that's not. They like to emphasis the evil alter, the one that'll kill you in your sleep, or whatever the hell they'll trope them as. Like, it, how sensational portrayals discourage diagnosis and support is disgusting. Like, movies like that misrepresent what life actually is with the disorder make it 20 times harder for people who actually have the disorder to get the help that they desperately need. Like, one in, say, 3 or 4 people attempt, make an attempt on their life. It's not a joke. It's it's bad. It's horrible to misrepresent something. It's like when South Park made fun of Tourette's. Like, how is that? Why? That's just enforcing people to fake claim others even though they have no frame of reference for what it is. And then there's the bigotry of, oh, I hate it because I don't understand it. It's just like, why? That makes no sense. Get a life. It often comes with, DID often comes with other conditions, though. Like, many people with DID also experience PTSD or CPTSD, which is complex post traumatic stress disorder. There's depression, anxiety, depersonalization, and derealization. I think that's what the word. And then there's sleep disturbances, like insomnia, which I've had for most of my life, which sucks. This shapes daily life more than identity switching alone, you know? So that's all I'm really gonna say. But yeah, if you found this helpful, let me know. Like, I'm down. But yeah, I hope you found this useful. If not, if I'm just rambling to myself, then cool. I got a record. But yeah, so peace.